Unless you're living under a rock, by now we all know about the Russell Westbrook for John Wall trade that broke the internet, that broke Twitter, that broke social media, went crazy everywhere. I found out about it when I woke up from a nap. I just checked my phone. I was like, holy, this cannot be happening right now. Keep in mind, Russell Westbrook is one of my favorite players in the NBA. So to see him go from that situation to the Wizards, to be honest, I'm really just happy for him, right? But in this video, we're not talking about that. We're really going to talk about the Rockets side of things. I've heard a lot of people say that this was really a lose-lose trade, as, you know, nobody could really tell who won the trade. But I'm here to tell you that I think it's actually a win-win trade. I mean, we all know it's pretty much just swapping salaries. I mean, they're both on contracts that go from around 40 to 44 million a year, and they're both on max contracts. So whatever team they go to, that team really doesn't have that much cap space to really, you know, maneuver things and look at signing new free agents, bring in new help. But here's the thing. A lot of people are saying that Russell Westbrook and John Wall are very similar players, and to an extent they are. They both rely on their athleticism, and you know, they really just go off of that. And yeah, I mean, to an extent they are similar players. However, what I've been seeing lately, and with the things that we've been hearing about John Wall practicing with KD, with James Harden throughout the summer, and you know, him finally coming back after 2 years, what I've been seeing lately, and on top of that, this Houston Rockets training camp video that just came out, I'm seeing John Wall work on his three-point shooting. Now, John Wall historically has not been a good three-point shooter. Him and Russ both actually have been around the 30% range when it comes to shooting threes. So we all know that none of them are really the best of three-point shooters. The point that I'm trying to make is that when you look at John Wall's injury, and really his past couple injuries, you know, for the past few years, you really have to understand that these are injuries that hurt his athletic side. The speed, the boost, the quick first step that he has, these are all things that contribute to that. Whenever you go through injuries like that, the one thing that you do have is your shooting. When KD had his injury, the one thing that we saw him do, we literally saw him shoot in a wheelchair. Same thing with Clay. When shooters get injured, it's not the end of the world for them, which is why a lot of people still expect KD to be at an elite level when he comes back, because they still have the ability to shoot. Unless it's an upper body injury, that's a whole different thing. But when it's lower body injuries, like John Wall's, the one thing that you still have is the ability to shoot. And for 2 years, him not being able to play, the one thing that he constantly could have done, and I believe he has done, is improve his shooting. So this brings me to the 2016 to 2018 Houston Rockets. We all know about the famous offense that coach Mike D'Antoni ran with Houston, and I'm not gonna lie, it did work to a certain extent. I mean, when you got a team that almost beat the 73-win Golden State Warriors team and made it that close to actually going to the finals, and if they did go into the finals, I believe that they would have won the championship and beat the Cleveland team, because they were just simply a better team at that point. On top of that, we all know about the Chris Paul injury that kept him out for games 6 and 7. And again, if Chris Paul was there, I really think that they would have won that series and, you know, moved on to potentially winning an NBA championship. That's how close the Houston Rockets were. Now, I know that it's not the same offense anymore, as Houston has so many new faces, whether it's coaching, whether it's front office, whether it's just bringing in new personnel when it comes to players. They have a completely different system now. But the one thing that we have to keep in mind is that James Harden has never had anyone like Christian Wood to play with. Even Boogie Cousins. The same thing applies to him, where he has had similar injuries to John Wall. And the only thing that he could have done consistently within that period was working on his shooting. And even before that, he was shooting threes. We have seen him, before he went down, we have seen him kind of extend his range to the three-point line, and he was on his way to becoming a good stretch 5 in the league, which is, I mean, he understood that that's where the league was going, so he had to work on that. And Boogie Cousins and Christian Wood, they both have the ability to stretch the floor. James Harden has never played with someone like that. And it's the same thing for John Wall. I know the Washington Wizards have shooters on that team, but keep in mind, those shooters were not there when we last saw John Wall play. Now, I think this is amazing for the Houston Rockets, because both John Wall and James Harden now have the options to kick it out to 3-point shooters when they're driving to the rim. Not to mention, they do have a new coach, Steven Silas, who he just coached the Dallas Mavericks team, who had the best offense in league history, the best offense ever. So I know that he had such a big impact, such a big role within that offense. When you have something like that, think about the lineup that they had. They had Maxi Kleber, they had Porzingis within that 4 and 5 position. I'm not sure how the Houston Rockets are going to do it. It's going to be either Christian Wood and Cousins starting, or it's going to be PJ Tucker and then Christian Wood at center. Either way, both of those players could stretch the floor, and they both have 3-point shooting ability. Now let's go back to John Wall. We have seen the videos, the IG videos of him working out, of him playing with KD, playing with James Harden over the summer. And everyone so far sounds like they've been impressed. And the thing that I've noticed is that he has been working on his 3-point shooting. Now, when it comes to James Harden playing with someone like him, think about Chris Paul. Chris Paul doesn't have the same speed as a John Wall, but what he did have was the shooting ability and the ball handling ability to kind of take the pressure off James Harden when he was creating shots and kind of help that offense run. Now, John Wall, based on the amount of hype that we've been seeing, based on the work that he's been putting in, I really think that he's going to surprise a lot of people when it comes to this upcoming season, when it comes to his 3-point shooting. Because I think, again, going back to the types of injuries that he had, the only thing that he really could have done consistently was improve his shooting. And based on what we've been seeing so far, especially this video, this training camp video that popped up on Twitter, on Instagram, from the Houston Rockets page of John Wall working out, I have been seeing him kind of put an emphasis on the 3-point shooting, on extending that range. Don't be surprised when we start seeing John Wall hit threes at around the 35% range this season. Like, I really think that can happen, and I really think that he has put in that work into his 3-point shooting. I really see him as a Chris Paul type player along with James Harden this season. On top of that, they're going to have much improved shooters, and they're going to have actual bigs that they're going to play with. Man, I can't wait for this offense. I can't wait to see what they do. I know that Steven Silas is very creative when it comes to creating an offense that can really maximize the potential of someone like John Wall, someone like James Harden. And I just can't wait. I can keep going on and on about my excitement for the upcoming season for the Houston Rockets, but we're going to end the video right here. If you want to talk more about this, go ahead, comment something. Let's talk in the comment section. Hit me up on Twitter. Let's talk about it. I'm also going to have a video coming out on Russell Westbrook and the Wizards side of things, and why I think they won the trade as well. So be on the lookout for that. But for now, thanks for watching the video. This is Talk Like Q. I'm Mir. See y'all next time. Peace.